Hey, it's Paul from howtoplaybassdotcom. In today's lesson we're going to look at the Beatles version, the original version of Got to Get You Into My Life, recorded in about '66. This is part of an ongoing kind of unofficial series that I'm doing of easy bass lines so that people who've only just picked up the bass can pick up these tutorials and start picking up songs. I did Ventures recently. I've got another Ventures to come. I did some Creedence Clearwater Revival. I've got a couple of Easy Monkeys tunes coming up. The purpose of these tutorials, as I say, is to, if you need to learn them for a gigging band and you're a bit more advanced, you wouldn't normally learn this. This will help you pick the tune up really easily. But if you are a beginner just starting out, you can use these tutorials to get some songs under your belt, cross-reference it with the technique tutorials that I've got on the website and stuff, so that you can start pushing forward your ability level by learning songs, basically, which is a great approach to learning the bass, in my opinion. Now, this is, as I say, an easy tutorial, and before we get started with the intro, if you're not subscribed to my free monthly easy, click the link under the video and head over to the website. Go and subscribe. There's a bunch of song tutorials you'll get in video and PDF format as a thank you for subscribing. Plus, there are also there's also a monthly song tutorial that again is in video and PDF format. All this material is exclusive to subscribers, so go and do that and then come back here and we'll get started with this next one in this unofficial series of kind of beginner level tutorials. Okay, you just heard the intro and the basic kind of verse pattern. Very simple. The intro, just 4 bars. We just hold a low G, 3rd fret of the E string. Then the basic verse pattern, and this pattern's used in the chorus as well, is based on this kind of figure. So we're going to be playing G, 5th fret of the D string, play that 4 times, then that bounce note is D, the open D string. Now in different verses you can vary it up by either putting 2 bounce notes in a bar, or putting no bounce notes in a bar, or putting 3 bounce notes in a bar. Depends on what your drummer's playing as to what you'll actually put in there. There's one little kind of triplet riff that always happens in the 6th bar of the verse. I can't you play something like this? So what he's playing is G, G, then the next G is the start of the triplet. G, open A, C, 3rd fret of the A string, 2 Ds, the 5th fret of the A string, F, 3rd fret of the D string. And just a word on the note durations there. You could play them as quarter notes, but this was recorded in the mid-60s, and I think McCartney recorded this on his Rickenbacker with flat wound strings, and he maybe played that, but the strings, maybe a combination of the strings, the note doesn't quite sustain for the full quarter note. It's not a staccato note, so that's just a very subtle note duration thing, and just gives it a bit more oomph to the line if you can do that. Easiest way to do it is just mute it with your left hand, just lift your fretting hand finger off. However you do it, those 8 bars will get you through the basic verse pattern. The next section of the song that we need to look at is the pre-chorus, so let's move on to that. just heard the pre-chorus. This is the part of the song where it's a notable change. The lyric is, ooh, and I suddenly saw you, ooh, and every single day of your life, that kind of section. If you know the original, you'll know it. Interesting descending bass line. First 4 bars is a 2-bar pattern repeated twice, which is 2 Bs, 2nd fret of the A string, 2 A sharps, 1st fret of the A string, 2 open A's, and 2 G sharps, 4th fret of the E string. That's repeated: B, A sharp, A, G sharp, and then the 5th bar is 2 C's, 3rd fret of the A string, 2 B's, 2nd fret of the A string, 2 open A's, 2 D's, 5th fret of the A string, and then you hold G at the 5th fret of the D string for 1 bar, 4 beats. There's a 4-bar rest, 4-beat rest, pardon me, and then we get into the next section. Now when you're playing first through, after the first chorus, the pre-chorus doesn't go to the chorus, it goes back to a verse, another pre-chorus, and then it goes to the chorus, which is another short section. It's only 6-bar section, and that's the bit where the vocal has got to get you into my life. So we'll go and look at the chorus section. You just heard the chorus section, 6-bar pattern, very straightforward. First and the last 2 bars of the pattern we looked at in the verse. The first 4 bars, something like this. And then you've got the 2 bars to set up the next section of the tune. Okay, so what we're playing in this chorus, first bar is the pattern in G that we've already learnt, with the D, open D bounce. Then we've got a bar in C where we're playing 4 C's, and that note there is a B, the 2nd fret of the A string. C's the 3rd fret of the A string, of course. Then you've got 4 more C's, then that stab on D, 5th fret of the A string, and then you've got 2 bars of the. So that's pretty straightforward. Go and cross-reference with the little clip I did with the backing track as well. After the first chorus, we go back to another verse, which would be verse 3. We've got another pre-chorus, and then we play through the chorus again, and then after that chorus, there's kind of a 2-bar break, and then we go into the outro. We'll go and do that in a separate section. After the second chorus, as I just said, there's like a 2-bar kind of instrumental break, and then there's a final chorus, and then there's an outro, which is kind of like a vamp on G. After the 2-bar break, the chorus is the same as previously. And then you'd be back into you'd be into the kind of the outro, which is just vamping on the G chord. Now you could just play, if you're playing this live and you need to learn it for tomorrow and you don't have time to learn anything else, you could just play that basic figure. On the original, McCartney plays some different things, as you have just heard me play. He goes down to the low G to start with, and just plays that in quarter notes. Then when he wants to go to the high G, he does it by using the upper 5th, which is the D, the 5th fret of the A string. And then he gets to that high G and goes straight down to the low G. Then you can throw in those patterns again. Another pattern he uses is something like this. which is it's kind of a variation of the triplet that we used in the verse. So you play 3 Gs, open A, and then C, D, F. There's all sorts of things you can do there. You just kind of vamps out on the G, and as long as you're keeping the kind of the rhythm flowing, it kind of won't matter what you're playing. So as I said in the intro, it's a very simple song. You put the parts together and you'll be able to get through it and play it in a live context.